Good morning. We are on the start of before the first day of questioning of the undercover police manager, Keith Edmondson, HN216. He was the detective chief inspector of the unit in the 90s. I'm joined with Donald O'Driscoll from the Undercover Research Group. What can we expect to hear from old Keith then?
Oh, I just turned up, did my job, played some golf. Yeah, they just got on and ran the unit, and they seem to be doing remarkably well. Great stuff. Jolly good lads. Well done. Do I need to do anything? No. Nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, it appeared like he had very much let the boys play.
Yeah, and he liked the boys' club. He was
Right,
he's part of the boys' club. He was supposed to be an undercover himself back in the day.
Okay.
Except he had a bit of a sexual indiscretion.
Right.
And they didn't actually let him become an undercover.
Oh, okay.
Which is a bit unusual.
Yeah, very unusual. I mean, like normally...
Yes, not to have sex, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, that's normally a qualification, right?
But they let him back in as a manager. He was him and Bob Lambert. He was Bob Lambert. Bob Lambert was a detective inspector who had the operational oversight of the undercovers. And Edmondson was the detective chief inspector, this nominal head of the unit. It's quite clear that Lambert ran the show. Edmondson simply yes man, rubber stamp, whatever, hands off. We'll hear the phrase passive management quite a bit, and it's the Edmondson-Lambert regime where you really see this. Yeah. So before them, you had HN216 who was trying to... Actually, we got problems here. Yeah. Let's bring in psychometric testing stuff, and then he gets replaced by Edmondson and Lambert, and it goes, oh yeah, whatever. We do it because, well, other people did it, but we don't really know why.
Right. Yeah. It's I kind of really feel like these are a bit of like the Lennon McCartney of the McCartney rather of the Spy Cops. These were the main two songwriters at its period when it was the most out of control.
Yes, and as the Metropolitan Police themselves pointed out, this is the period when most sexual relationships actually happened, according to their statistics.
Yeah. So it's very much on his watch, but we're fully expecting him just to be pretend to be completely oblivious. We heard from John Webb on Thursday, who described him as being perpetually surprised by everything. He's always seemed to be like, oh gosh, I can't believe it. This thing's happened. So I would expect we're going to get a bit of that today.
Which was what you'd expect of one of the most professionally, tightly managed units in British government history. Just like this is the elite, so professional.
Yeah.
And it's so don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. I don't really want to know, because then I would have to go to talk to the bosses. It's really the image that keeps coming back to me for this mob is that the three monkeys: see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. It sums them up, and he's the one who's got his hands over the ears. He doesn't want to hear anything. I think a key question for me coming out of this is, so how did you understand policy? What policy documents did you have? Did you do anything to change the unit at the time when it's clear there are major issues happening? Or did you just simply let Lambert, push everything under the carpet, and you go away feeling good about yourself? But also in this period, we start seeing the unit getting really expensive. Extravagant exits. People going to Australia. You see John Dines going to, having this huge payout to go to Australia. Yeah. Christine Green goes to Australia. They're all off on junkets and holidays, and you see this sort of like the SDS were never morally strong as a unit, but there's a stronger, get a sense that this is where the corruption. And so actually, we can just get away with anything. We can start playing the game, not just do it on the slide, but what can we get out of this?
Yeah. Because in the past, we've heard a lot about the way in which overtime was being fraudulently claimed, but then there'd been a cap put on that, so they had to find other ways to get their freebies.
Yeah, and they have junkets abroad, and it's quite clearly this is the year where they start having those little junkets. Oh, we'll just go and stay in this hotel. And it's been interesting listening to the questions being asked to the managers. Oh, you were there in a hotel in a foreign country. Did you even see your undercover? No. We were just there just in case.
Yeah.
So what were you doing most of the time? Just sat in the hotel? I don't believe it.
Yeah. Is these cover officers who, they're ready, and like John Webb said on Thursday, I was ready in case of emergencies. Were there any emergencies? Oh no.
And there never is.
No, there never is.
At no point was there ever an emergency. So it's easy, they're clearly having quite an easy life, no intrusion, to get the overtime they want. Write reports. Nobody's even paying that much attention to the reports. But it's also in this era, that we've got Jim Boyling helping to organise June the 18th.
Yes, absolutely.
And they're taking on huge roles of responsibility.
Yeah, it really feels like it's the oversight kind of drops off. The very little oversight there is drops off during this period. They're no longer filing annual reports. Then MI5 isn't interested in the intelligence anymore, and they're just on off the leash a bit to carry on in whichever way they like.
And they're even moved out of police buildings. Even like before, you had the safe houses, and the undercovers would go to safe houses, and then the police would come, the managers would come from some other police building and meet. Now the managers are away from the rest of the police. It's like they're constantly one step removed. And you go from there further and further away from policing. Yeah,
we've got Keith for 2 days. Given that I'm expecting him to say that he wasn't there or he can't remember for pretty much all the questions, it feels like a lot, but I'm sure there'll be lots of things put to him. What are you hoping that he's going to get grilled on most?
So I think the big ones are going to be all the relationships. And then there will be criminality. Undercovers involved in criminality, I think, is going to be a much bigger topic in this one.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I'm not actually seeing that much that would put to him, because I think he will just deny, can't recall everything. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to predict this, but I wouldn't be surprised if his evidence was on the shorter side.
The hearing will start at 10 a.m., which is in only a few minutes, but the broadcast will start at past. I'll share the link on all the usual places. Please follow if you can. We'll do another one at break time and at lunchtime and afternoon break and the end of the day. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe and share these videos. It really helps how visible they are. There's 25 people watching. Only one person has liked it, so please help us get the message out. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not at the moment.
Right on. Thanks for joining us. See you all again in a bit.